from Thomas Road to here, and then this is where the little part of District 16 comes in. Essentially, we had to put this nick in here because we had to, it had to conform. Every time you push a finger in, another finger sticks out. So, you know, we just had, that just had to be in there to make all the numbers kind of crunch. So, and then we keep going west, south of Thomas, all the way to Avondale. And then what we do is, this little niche right here is at 91st and goes up to Indian School. And then this is a river bottom area right here. This is off the Frio River. So that's why we have that right there. So we kept it at that. So that is District B. And again, what the idea was to create majority-minority districts. That is so that Jose Rivas said from Congressman Pastor's office is to the ability of a majority-minority community to have the ability to vote elect a candidate of their choice. So that's why all 4 districts are essentially in Congressman Pastor's area, because we want to make sure that as majority-minority communities of interest, we want to have the ability to elect our own officials. We don't want to jeopardize that. Yes?
What legislative district does that translate into?
Well, right now it's mostly District 13 and 12. Well, just a little bit of 12. Yeah, just very much, because 13 goes into Avondale, and actually, what little part we took here, I think, down here, is actually what used to be District 23, which is a district that cannot be formed anymore because it actually came from eastern Arizona, from Kearney and Winkleman, the mining town, wrapped around down here, went in through Pinell, wrapped around the mountains, and then came in and had a little bit of this. That won't work anymore. Those kinds of districts that get gerrymandered like that, I don't have a stand a good chance. What we are trying to do is present a practical presentation to them. This doesn't have a lot of little fingers, although, you know, you have a little finger here, but there's districts that were created that just stretch out and curve and do all that. We were trying to present a map to them of the 4 districts that made sense. That didn't create all sorts of like questions in their minds. I said, why are you doing that? Much like 16 is compact, we were trying to keep this as compact as we could here in West Phoenix, in Towson, and some of the Avondale. That was the idea. Now, right now, we essentially really only have 2 majority-minority districts. We have South Phoenix and we have West Phoenix. The last time around for redistricting, the idea was that we should have had 3. We have 2 other urban districts that essentially they're Democrat, but they're not majority-minority districts. Those 2 districts there's only one elected representative of color. So what we did is what we thought was a good idea is to keep 4 majority-minority districts, and that way we could have people of color in 4 majority-minority districts instead of just 2. So, with that in mind, what we did is we took the upper half of District 13 and put it up in this district that's above it. And so this is heavily minority district. Just so that you know, District A, if you just combine the African American community and the Hispanic community, if you add the voting age population, that comes up to 70% of the voting age population for District 16. Those are extremely good numbers. For District B, if you add the African American community and the Hispanic community, you come up with 72.6%. So that's a heavily majority minority district. Now, this one that's created here is, if you add the African community and the Hispanic community together, what you get is 70.1%, which is good numbers for us to vote in people of color. To have a majority minority community of interest, you have them the ability to elect candidates of their own. We don't have this in this area. That's been broken up, and we don't have the ability to elect candidates of our choice. That's sort of why this district was created. So, and the background, and I'll show you the last map, and I'll tell you the background on the other two districts and why they had to essentially kind of be different because of their population, they lost population. This is the last one, District D. It starts in Old East Phoenix and then goes up along Grand Avenue into what Jose was talking about, northern and that area that has a good minority population there. And if you add the African American and the Hispanic community in there, voting age population, it is at 53.4. So that is excellent for this community. So what we have here are maps that communities of interest, majority minority communities have the ability to elect candidates of their choice, all four. Now, understand that once you move something else has to move. So, in coming up in these plans, this is what was created. I believe they're good maps. It allows us to vote in people of color and creates more legislative districts for us to be represented in. In background, what used to be District 14 and 15, which was sort of, I think, more in this area, like in here, and it took in some of that, and it kind of split this whole thing up right in here, and kind of dissected something here and something there, and we lost ability to vote in candidates of our own. What happened is, reason why those districts have to go away is they both lost almost 90,000 people in their districts, both of them. So essentially District 14 and District 15, I mean, if you put them together, they might make one district, but they lost population, so they're gone. There's just no way we could even keep those kinds of district lines anymore because they just lost too many people. So these are the four new districts. They're heavily majority minority districts, and these are the maps.
Yes. Before we answer your questions, if there's other districts that you all are from that have come here, and you have questions about what can you do, how can you get engaged, I'd recommend certainly going to your various district meetings, seeing what is happening regarding that, and certainly if everybody has the ability to pull together a coalition of their own in their various areas and come up with ideas of maps that you feel strategically will help benefit your district and keep your communities of interest and everything intact. Keep in mind, as we're moving these maps forward, these maps are examples of what the Minority Coalition would like to see, and to be able to work together towards that. There is a mic in the middle of the room if you want to stand with the mic or just talk from your seat. It's up to you. Your hand is first.
I have two questions.